Tell me what a verb is. Do you remember? A verb is a word in a sentence that shows action or a state of being. And there are different tenses. There's present tense, there's past tense if something happened in the past, or there's future tense, something that's going to happen in the future. Now listen very carefully. In the past tense, there is a simple past tense, there's a past progressive tense, there's a past perfect tense, and there's a past perfect progressive tense. And that's what we're going to learn in this lesson. Please look at square number 1. Now, simple past tense is used to describe an action that occurred in the past. It has already occurred. It's not now, but in the past. It has already occurred. The simple past tense is an action verb that indicates some action has occurred in the past. Look at sentence number 1. They rode the bus to school. Means that the event has already occurred. Or Bill ate his lunch. He's already eaten his lunch. Simple past tense. Now look at square number 2. Past progressive. Past progressive tense is used to describe actions going on in the past. These actions often take place during a specific period. The action has no connection with the present. It was an action that continued in the past. It is not going on in the present. Look at sentence number 1. They were riding the bus to school. Okay. An action, progressive, that took place in the past. Bill was eating his lunch. Okay. An action that took place in the past. That is what a past progressive is. It shows a progression of action, but it took place in the past. Now look at square number 3. Past perfect tense. Past perfect tense refers to an action that occurred in the past that was completed before another action occurred. Look at sentence number 1. After they had ridden the bus, they went to class. Had ridden the bus had already occurred. It's completed. Then another occurrence. They went to class. So it describes an event that took place in the past before another event took place. Look at the next sentence. Bill had eaten his lunch before he swam. Bill had already completed eating his lunch, an action in the past, and then another action occurred. He swam. And that is the past perfect tense. Now look at square number 4. Past perfect progressive tense. Listen carefully. Past perfect progressive tense is used to indicate a continuous action in the past before another action occurred. Now for past perfect progressive tense, have been or had been are used before the action verb. That's a clue to past perfect progressive tense. Look at sentence number 1. They had been riding the bus to school until it broke down. Shows a continuous action. That action ended. Another action occurred. They had been riding the bus until the bus broke down. Look at the next sentence. Bill had been eating his lunch before the bell rang. Bill had been eating his lunch, a progression, a process of action. That action ended before the bell rang. Now these are all variations of the past tense. Now please go to the next page and I'll show you the kind of exercises that you're going to have that will help you to learn past verb tenses. Now your job is going to be to identify each sentence's tense and write the tense's number on the line and then type it on your computer. Let me repeat it. Your job is going to be to identify each sentence's tense and write that tense's number on the line next to the sentence and then type it on your computer. Now, look in the blue box, the blue framed box. You have a choice of simple past, past progressive, past perfect, and past perfect progressive. Now your job is going to be to read each sentence and make a decision of what kind of past tense it is. So look at the first sentence. Pam had been watching TV before going to bed. Well, what is it? Well, is it simple past? No. Past progressive? No. Past perfect? No. Past perfect progressive. Now, what is past perfect progressive? Well, it's used to indicate a continuing action in the past begun before another action has begun or interrupted the first action. And one of the clues is it's always got have been or had been before the action verb. Okay, Pam had been watching TV before the next action, which is before going to bed. So the answer is past perfect progressive. Number 4 is written on the line, just like I'm doing. And then type it on your computer. Look at the next sentence. Pam had watched TV before going to bed. What is it? Simple past, past progressive, past perfect? Which one? Well, it's past perfect. Remember, past perfect is used to refer to actions that took place and were completed in the past, so they've already occurred. Pam had watched TV before going to bed. Okay? She's already done it. She's already completed watching TV before she went to bed. So number 3 is written on the line and then typed on your computer. Do it just like I'm doing. Now what's the next sentence? Pam was watching TV. Well, what is it? It's past progressive. She was doing it. As you remember, past progressive indicates actions ongoing in the past, often taken place within a specific time frame. Okay, and it was a continuous action. She was watching TV. So number 2 is written on the line, and then type it on your computer. What's the next sentence? Pam watched TV. Well, that's simple for 2 reasons. 1, because it's the only one left, and 2, because it's just simple past. It's an event that took place in the past. It's not progressive. So number 1 is written on the line and then typed on your computer. Let's do one more set of 4. The fire had burned out of control, so we called for help. What is it? Simple past? Past progressive? Past perfect? Past perfect progressive? Well, the answer is number 3. You have a hint because it's had burned. Now, as you recall, past perfect tense is used to refer to actions that took place and were completed in the past. So the fire had burned out of control. So it already burned out of control. Okay, an action that had already taken place. So number 3 is written on the line and then typed on your computer. Do it just like I'm doing. Now look at the next sentence. The fire burned out of control. Well, it's simple past. It burned out of control. There's no other conditions. It's not continuous. It burned out of control. So number 1 is written on the line, simple past, and then typed on the computer. Now look at the next sentence. The fire was burning out of control. So it's progressing. It is continuing. Sometime in the past, continuing. The fire was burning out of control. So number 2, it's past progressive. It shows a progressive action that occurred in the past. So number 2 is written on the line. And then type it on your computer. The last sentence, the fire had been burning out of control until it rained. Well, had been burning out of control. Past perfect progressive. And anytime you had have been or had been, that's an indication that it's past perfect progressive. So number 4 is written on the line and then typed on your computer. Now I want you to go ahead by yourself and do the next set of sentences. Decide whether it's simple past, past progressive, past perfect progressive.